Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed about conjugate points. What are conjugate points? 2 points P comma Q are said to be conjugate points if the polar of P passing through Q. Polar of P passing through Q, then automatically polar of Q passing through P itself. So 2 points are said to be conjugate points if polar of each passing through other. What is the condition? S12 is equals to 0. So because the polar of x1 y1 with respect to circle S equal to 0 is S1 equal to 0, it is passing through the another point x2 comma y2, that is substitution of the x2 comma y2 in S1 equal to 0, we obtain S12 is equals to 0. So if you take 2 points, they are conjugate points, immediately the condition is S12 equal to 0. The points are like x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. If you consider the concurrent lines, their poles are automatically collinear. Similarly, if you take collinear points, their polars are concurrent. We have discussed all these things. Also, we discussed the problems related to conjugate points also. Now, we discuss what are conjugate lines. When you are saying two lines are conjugate lines with respect to a circle, how to obtain the condition that the two lines L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are conjugate to each other with respect to a circle. Okay, all these conditions we have to discuss today. Now let us see here. Conjugate lines. Before going to see the definition, let us see the diagram here. Consider the circle S is equals to 0. This is my circle, S is equals to 0, as shown in this figure. Now, these are two lines, L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0. These are the two lines intersects the circle at AB and CD, say. These two lines are said to be conjugate lines. When you are saying these two lines are conjugate lines with respect to that circle. Let us see here. This is the pole. I would like to find the pole of the first line. So for that, I draw the tangents at these extremities. Your point is outside of the circle, immediately your polar becomes chord of contact. So to get the pole of this line, what you have to do? Draw the tangents at their extremities, you get some pole. This is the point. Point of intersection of tangents drawn at these extremities of chord. So pole of this line L1 equal to 0 lies on what here? L2 is equals to 0. In this case, we say that the two lines are conjugate lines with respect to the circle. Similarly, draw the tangents from the point on the circle, on the line to this circle, then its polar passing through what now? This is the point. So, two lines L1 equal to 0, L2 equal to 0 are said to be conjugate lines with respect to a circle S is equal to 0 if pole of some line L1 is equals to 0 with respect to the circle S equal to 0 lies on L2 is equals to 0. See here, this is my line L1 is equals to 0. This is pole of L1 equal to 0. Pole of L1 is equal to 0. It lies on what? This is the second line L2. This is the line L2 equal to 0. In this situation, we say that the two lines are conjugate lines with respect to the circle S is equals to 0. Dear students, observe that these 2 points are conjugate or not. Here, this is the point, it is the polar. The polar of point passing through what? Another point. In this case, we say that these 2 points are conjugate points. We mean the polars of conjugate points with respect to a circle are itself conjugate lines to the circle. Conjugate lines to the circle. That is the definition. So simply we say that these two lines L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are said to be conjugate lines if pole of L1 equal to 0 lies on L2 equal to 0, or as well as pole of L2 equal to 0 lies on L1 is equals to 0, then we say that the two lines L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are conjugate to each other. So two lines are said to be conjugate lines. Find the pole of one line, substitute on second line. If it satisfies, we say that the two lines are conjugate to each other with respect to the circle. Understand? Now see this theorem. The condition that the lines L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equals to 0 and L2x plus M2y plus N2 equal to 0 are conjugate lines with respect to the circle S is equals to 0 is this one. R square into L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to L1g plus M1f minus N1 into L2g plus M2f minus N2. This is the condition that the two lines L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are conjugate with respect to the circle S equal to 0. This is a L1 line, this is the another line L2 say. Very simple. What is the definition? Pole of one line lies on the other, then we say that the two lines are conjugate lines with respect to the circle. So your first line is what now? Your first line is L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equal to 0. So we have to find out the pole of this line. Pole of L1x plus M1y plus N1 equal to 0 with respect to S equal to 0 is what? Minus G plus R square L1 by L1G plus M1F minus N1, comma, minus F plus R square M1 by L1G plus M1F minus N1. This is the pole of the line L1x plus M1y plus N1 equal to 0 with respect to the circle. What is our radius of the circle? Since L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are conjugate lines, must and should be that point. Suppose say it is P. P must and should be lies on L2 is equal to 0. Now, the lines are conjugate. Implies P lies on L2 is equals to 0. P lies on my L2 is equals to capital L2 equal to 0. Therefore, substitute the point pole in that line L2. We get L2 times of minus G plus R square L1 by L1G plus M1F minus N1 plus M2 times of minus F plus R square M1 by L1G plus M1F minus N1 plus N2 is equals to 0. Just by simplifying this equation, we obtain the required condition. That is, R square L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equal to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. So here minus L2G minus M2F again plus N2. Next, take the R square common plus R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2. The LCM is same for both the factors, that is L1G plus M1F minus N1, that is equals to 0. Take the term to the right side, we get R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 by what? L1G plus M1F minus N1 is equal to L2G plus M2F minus N2. Understand? Just cross multiplying, we get the required result. What is the result? R square L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. Just take the term to the right side, we get this required result. Understand? So just to substitute the pole of one line lies on other, we get the condition. Similarly, we can find the pole of L2, substitute on L1 is equals to 0, we obtain the same condition. Understand? So two lines L1 equal to 0 and L2 equal to 0 are said to be conjugate lines if pole of one line lies on the other. Understand? See this problem. The lines 3x plus y equal to 0 and 2x x plus 2y is equal to 4 are conjugate with respect to a circle whose center is at origin. Whose center is at origin, then find the radius of the circle. Two lines are given to you. What they are saying? They are saying the two lines are conjugate lines with respect to some circle having center at origin. You have to find out the radius. Just we derive the condition. What is that? R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. Dear students, your center of the circle is 0, 0. The equation becomes, if C is equal to 0, 0, the above equation becomes what now? R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to minus N1 into minus N2 because G equal to 0, F equal to 0. By substituting G equal to 0, F equal to 0, these two becomes 0. Minus N1 into minus N2. What is the formula becomes? The formula becomes like this. R square L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to N1 N2. You just substitute the values here itself, we get the required answer. This means 3x plus y minus 10 equal to 0. We mean x plus 2y minus 4 equal to 0. Capital L1 is nothing but L1x plus M1y plus N1 equal to 0. L2x plus M2y plus N2 equal to 0. Take 10 to the left side, that is minus 10. Take 4 to the left side, that becomes minus 4. So we have to find out the R value. R square times of L1 L2. 3 into 1, 3 plus M1 M2. 1 into 2, that is 2, is equals to N1 N2, that is minus 10 into minus 4. Minus 10 into minus 4, we mean that is 40. So R square times of 5 is equals to 40. So this is 8 times. R square is equals to 8. Immediately we obtain the radius of the circle is 2 root 2 units. So in this manner we can find the radius of the circle. So two lines are given to you. These two are conjugate with respect to the circle S is equals to 0. With the help of that condition, we can achieve the value of R when the center of the circle is origin. Suppose the center of the circle is not origin, even though we can apply the formula, this one, we can get the radius of the circle. Understand? Now let us see another problem here. The conjugate line 3x plus 4y minus 45 equal to 0 with respect to some circle which is perpendicular to x plus y is equals to 0. So what you have to find out here? We have to find out the conjugate line of 3x plus 4y minus 45 equal to 0 with respect to the circle that will be perpendicular to this line. That will be perpendicular to this line x plus y equal to 0. So, in pair of conjugate lines, one line is given to you. 3x plus 4y minus 45 equal to 0 is given to you. You have to find out the conjugate line to that one with respect to the circle that maintains the condition that t is perpendicular to x plus y equal to 0. So this is the equation number 1. Okay. What is L1 here? L1 is equals to 3, M1 is equals to 4, N1 is equals to minus 45. What is G value? G is equals to minus 3, F is equals to minus 4, constant equal to 5. What is the radius of the circle? Root of G square, 9 plus 16. G square plus F square minus C, that is minus 5, that is root 20. Then R square is equals to 20. R square is 20. What is the line perpendicular to that x plus y equal to 0? Equation of any line perpendicular to, equation of line perpendicular to x plus y is equal to 0 is of the form, what now? X minus y equal to 0. x minus y plus some k equal to 0 maybe. K may be taken. X minus y plus k equal to 0. What is the slope here? Minus 1. Here slope is plus 1. So for any value of k, these two lines are perpendicular. Now this is the equation number 2. So we obtain L2 is equals to what now? L2 is equals to 1. M2 is equal to minus 1 and N2 is equals to k. N2 is equal to k. When we get the value of k, your job is over. So now the two lines, 1 and 2 are conjugate lines. Then you have to apply the condition what we observed here earlier. Immediately we obtain the constant value and your job is over. Therefore, 1 and 2 are conjugate lines. 1 and 2 are conjugate lines implies what is the condition? R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. What is radius square? 20 times of L1 L2, that is 3 into 1, 3. M1 M2, 4 into minus 1, minus 4. R square times of L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equals to L1G. What is your G value? 3 into minus 3. L1 is 3, G is minus 3, minus 9. L1G, M1F, that is minus 16, minus N1, that is minus of minus, plus 45, into L2G, L2 means 1 into minus 3, that is minus 3. M2F, minus 1 into minus 4, that is plus 4. And minus N2, N2 is nothing but K, that is minus K. So this is minus 1 into 20, what is the value? Minus 20 is equals to, see here, this is minus 25 plus 45, that is 20 times of minus K plus 1. So 20 cancel out 1 times. Therefore, minus k plus 1 is what now? Minus 1 implies k equals to 2. So, when k is equals to 2, just to substitute here, what we get? X minus y plus 2 is equals to 0. This is the equation of line which is conjugate to our line. Once if you know thoroughly about this formula, we can easily crack this one. So, we find the line which is conjugate to this line with respect to the circle. At the same time, our line is perpendicular to this one. So first you write the perpendicular line to this one. It is of the form x minus y plus k equal to 0. This is any line perpendicular to this one. Infinite number of perpendicular lines may draw, but that will be conjugate to this line. That's why I am applying the conjugate condition. We obtain the value of k, just to substitute here itself, we get the line. So this is the way to find out the equation of conjugate line to the line with respect to the circle which is perpendicular to the line x plus y equal to 0. Okay. See here, this is the question. A point P is taken on the circle x square plus y square equal to a square. Pn and Pm are drawn perpendicular to the axis. Then the locus of pole of line Mn is what? Why the line varying? Why the line Mn is varying? Because the point P is taken on the circle. So P is varying on the circle. Now Pn and Pm are drawn perpendicular to the axis will be changed automatically. The position of M and N are changed automatically. The line joining of Mn is varying. Clearly observe the students. Concept. We have to find out the pole of the line Mn. You collect all such type of poles, you get some locus. That is you are going to find out here. So if the line Mn is changed, automatically its pole will be changed with respect to the same circle. You collect all such type of poles, you get some locus. That is you are going to find out here. How to get this one? First of all, let us draw the diagram to this one. These are the coordinate axes. This is the circle. X square plus y square equal to a square. Its center is at origin. Okay. This is the one of the position of the point P with respect to the circle. This is any point on the circumference of the circle. P is varying on the circle, x square plus y square equal to a square, that is given to you. Next, what you have to do? You have to draw the perpendiculars from P to the coordinate axis. This is the one of the perpendicular to the x-axis. This is PM, and draw another perpendicular PN to the y-axis. Okay. By changing the position of P, suppose your position of P is here, you can draw the perpendiculars in this manner. This is a M dash, this is a N dash. So this is the line joining of Mn, this is the line joining of Mn dash. So the line is varying in this manner. For every line there exists a pole with respect to the same circle. You collect all such type of poles, you get some locus, that is you are going to find out here. Understand? So this is the point P. PM and PN are drawn perpendiculars from P to the axis as shown in this figure. This is the line joining of Mn. So for this position of point P, you have the line Mn. After getting this line, you have to find out the pole of the line with respect to the circle. Here the line intersects the circle. To get the pole, draw the tangents at these points. They intersect at another point Q, say, that is pole of that line Mn with respect to the circle. So these are the 2 points of intersections formed by the line with the circle. Draw the tangents at those points. This is one of the tangent, this is the another tangent. These 2 tangents intersect at that point. This is the diagram related to this question. So we have to find out this locus of point Q. This is the point of intersection of tangents drawn at the extremities of chords. This becomes what? Chord of contact to that point. When the point is outside of the circle, your polar coincides with the chord of contact. That is why I am choosing the diagram in this manner. So this is the line Mn. To get the pole, what you have to do? Draw the tangents at their extremities of that chord, that becomes pole. Because your point is outside of the circle, the polar coincides with what? Chord of contact. That is the concept. You have to find out the locus of Q. Why Q is varying? By varying the point P on the circumference of the circle. Suppose P is here, you draw the perpendiculars, join the line to the points of intersections with the coordinate axis. At that points of intersections, again draw the tangents, they meet at some point. You have to collect all such type of points, you get some locus, that is you are going to find out here. Understand? This is the diagram. So this is the variable point on the circle. For some position, its coordinates are, say, x1 comma y1. x1 comma y1. For this point, the corresponding pole is, say, h comma k. We are going to write the locus of h comma k when P is moving on the circumference of circle. Okay. When let P is equals to x1 comma y1 implies, tell me what are the coordinates of M? The coordinates of M are x1 comma 0, because this is on the x-axis, the coordinates are immediately x1 comma 0. What are the coordinates of n? 0 comma y1. By clubbing these two, we get x1 comma y1. So n is what now? N is equals to 0 comma y1. So x-intercept is x1, y-intercept is y1. Can I write the equation of Mn line or not? So the equation of Mn line is, x by x1 plus y by y1 is equal to 1, implies y1x plus x1y minus x1y1 equal to 0 by taking the LCM. This is the line. After getting the line, can I find the pole of the line with respect to the circle or not? What is the pole for the circle? X square plus y square equal to a square. Pole of this one, suppose say 1, pole of the line 1 is, what is the formula? Minus r square L. L is x coefficient. R square L by n, that is minus x1 y1, comma, minus r square m, that is x1 by n. Pole of Lx plus my plus n equal to 0 is minus r square L by n, comma, minus r square m by n for the circle x square plus y square is equals to r square. So minus minus gets cancelled, y1 gets cancelled here, minus minus gets cancelled, x1 gets cancelled. What is the pole now? R square by x1 comma r square by y1. This is the pole of the line Mn. So this is original pole, but we are taken the point as h comma k. This is the point which is on our locus. After from this relation, can you calculate the values of x1, y1 or not? So by equating x coordinates, we get x1 is equal to r square by h and y1 is equal to r square by k. This is the original pole. We are taking it as h comma k. This is on the locus. So from that equate these 2 points, we get x1 as r square by h, y1 as r square by k. Now x1, y1 lies on what, dear students? Your circle x square plus y square equal to r square. We get the condition x1 square plus y1 square is equal to r square. Since the point on the circle, you just keep the values of x1, y1 here itself. We get the condition on h comma k. Can you write the locus of h comma k or not? Yes, you can easily write the locus of h comma k. Implies, substitute here, x1 square means what? R power 4 by h square plus r power 4 by what? K square is equals to what? R square. Implies 1 by x square plus 1 by y square equal to 1 by r square is your required locus. So r square cancel out, r square times here, my dears. Therefore, locus of h comma k is taken as 1 by x square plus 1 by y square is equal to 1 by r square. Or you may taken as x power minus 2 plus y power minus 2 is equals to r power minus 2. Here, the basic concept is take the point and draw two perpendiculars, form the equation of line, find the pole and equate that to h comma k. We have to eliminate the value, that is variable value here, that is taken x1, y1. We get the condition on h comma k and then go for locus of h comma k. Sometimes you may take the parametric point on the circle itself. We may save 2 or 3 steps here. Suppose the point is P as a cos theta comma b sin theta, same procedure. This is a cos theta comma 0. This is 0 comma a sin theta. Just to find the line equation, find the pole itself and take it as h comma k. By using the condition cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1 itself, we obtain the locus. No need to find the x1, y1, substitute again in x1 square plus y1 square equal to a square. These 2 steps may be saved by taking the point instead of x1, y1 by r cos theta comma r sin theta, we mean a cos theta comma a sin theta. Understand? It is the simple question, but you have to choose correct way. See this question, very nice question to you. If P, Q, R are the pairwise conjugate points with respect to the circle, pairwise conjugate points, we mean P comma Q are conjugate with respect to the circle, Q comma R are conjugate with respect to the circle and P comma R are conjugate with respect to the same circle, that is x minus 3 whole square plus y plus 1 whole square is equals to 25. Then the orthocenter of the triangle PQR is what? This is the question. We have to find out the orthocenter of the triangle PQR. What are PQRs? Pairwise conjugate points with respect to the circle. Dears, what are conjugate points? Polar of one passing through other is said to be conjugate points. The condition is what? S12 equal to 0. Okay, polar of each passing through other, we say that the 2 points are conjugate points with respect to the circle. Let us try to draw the figure to you. From the diagram itself, we can conclude the orthocenter of the triangle PQR. Listen carefully, dears. This is the circle. Now, I would like to draw the triangle PQR such a way that P comma Q are conjugate with respect to the circle and Q comma R are conjugate with respect to the circle and R comma P are also conjugate with respect to the circle. Okay. This is the circle. Now, this is the center of the circle. Suppose this is the point P, say. Now, I am going to take in the triangle PQR in this manner. Why you are taking in this manner? Just I will explain to you. Dears, point is here. its polar completely outside or not? Yes. Point is inside of the circle, your polar is outside of the circle. This is R. Suppose your point is P here. Q comma R is the line joining of Q and R. This is, I am saying, polar of P. What I am saying this one? As polar of P. It is clear because the point is outside, your polar completely outside of the circle. So this is the polar you take in this manner. Q comma R are 2 points on the polar of P. Therefore, immediately we obtain the condition that P and Q are conjugate points. P and R are conjugate points because polar of P passing through what? Q. Therefore, P comma Q are conjugate. P comma Q are conjugate. P and R are the polar of P passing through what? R. Therefore, P and R are conjugate. Okay. Now, the polar of Q, polar of P passing through what now? Q. Immediately polar of Q passing through P. Now, my question is, Q and R are conjugate or not? Q and R are conjugate or not? Yes, these are conjugate because polar of P passing through Q, then polar of Q passing through P. Polar of R passing through P, then polar of R passing through that P, polar of P passing through R. So, Q and R are also conjugate to each other because this is the, if you want to draw the polar of this Q, see my dears, this is the card of contact. So, polar of Q is what now? This one. This is passing through P. Similarly, can you take the polar of R or not? See, are you convinced or not? So, therefore, from this figure itself, PQ are conjugate, PR are conjugate, QR are conjugate with respect to the circle. Why the QR is conjugate? Why the QR is conjugate? Polar of Q, this is the polar of Q, passing through R or not? That is passing through R. Polar of R, this is the polar of R, that is passing through Q. In this manner, Q comma R are conjugate to each other. So, these are pairwise conjugate points with respect to this triangle. PQ, QR, RP conjugate to each other. We have the one more condition that if it is circle, this is the point P. If it is polar of P, CP is always perpendicular to the polar of P. Polar of P is always perpendicular to line joining of CP. So, if you draw CP and extend this one, this is perpendicular to the QR. Am I correct or not? Similarly, join C to Q, this is perpendicular to its polar. Similarly, join C to R, perpendicular to this polar, its corresponding polar. So, what we obtained here, these are altitudes of the triangle, altitudes of the sides of the triangle or not? Yes, altitudes of the sides of the triangle. Your orthocenter is the point of concurrence of altitudes. So, where the altitudes meet here, the three altitudes meet at the point that is the center of the circle. So, the center of circle becomes what? Orthocenter of the triangle PQR, where PQ, QR, RP are pairwise conjugate points. With the help of that technique, we approach that C as orthocenter because the line joining of CP is perpendicular to polar of P. With the help of that concept, we conclude that the three altitudes to the sides of the triangle meet at C. Therefore, the point of concurrence of altitudes itself orthocenter. Therefore, orthocenter is here center of the circle. Orthocenter is equal to center of circle. What is the center of circle itself here? 3 comma minus 1. So, it is very easy to find the center of circle, that is x1 comma y1. It is of the form x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square equal to r square. That is no problem. By setting the diagram itself, we get the answer. Understand? Pairwise conjugate points, they are given to you. Okay. Dear students, let us see the next concept, that is inverse points with respect to a circle. Inverse points with respect to a circle. Before going to define the inverse points, let us see the diagram. Consider the circle S equal to 0. It is center of the circle C, as shown in this figure. Now, this is any point P in the plane of circle. You may take outside or on or inside of the circle. One of the position of P is like that, that is inside of the circle. You may take at anywhere. Okay. Next, consider the line. This is the line. Now, I am saying this is the line which is polar of P with respect to the circle. Am I correct or not? Your point is inside of the circle, your polar completely outside of circle. That polar neither touch nor intersect the circle we discussed in the previous class. So, if it is the point, I am saying this is polar of P. Rough diagram, this is the polar of P. Now, you can consider so many points in that line. Every point is conjugate to P or not. If the polar of P passing through some point Q1, we say that the 2 points are conjugate. Polar of P passing through some point Q1, then P comma Q1 are conjugate to each other by definition of the conjugate points. Listen carefully. This is the another point. This is Q2. Then immediately P comma Q2 are also conjugate point with respect to the same circle. This is the point Q, then this is P and Q are also conjugate to each other. These are the another 2 points, Q3 and Q4 are also lies on my line, L is equal to 0, then P comma Q1, P comma Q2, P comma Q, P comma Q3, P comma Q4 are pairwise conjugate points with respect to that circle. Okay, can you observe any speciality of this Q? Dears, is there any speciality of that Q? Yes, if you join CP, that will be perpendicular to this line. Join CP, that will be perpendicular to this line. That means C, P, Q are collinear in this case. In all these cases, CPQ forms a triangle. In the remaining cases, CPQ forms a triangle. See here, this is CPQ3. This is another triangle. This is what now? CPQ4. This is another triangle. You have every time triangle, but in this case, the points are collinear. Even though this is also a conjugate point. Conjugate point satisfies another condition, that is collinear with CP. Collinear with CP. So, conjugate with collinearity satisfied by that point. In this case, we say that the 2 points P comma Q are inverse points with respect to the circle. Inverse points with respect to the circle. So, 2 points P comma Q are said to be inverse points with respect to a circle if they are conjugate. At that same time, they are collinear with the center of the circle. Collinear with the center of the circle. Then we say that the 2 points are inverse points with respect to the circle. That is the definition itself. See here, some point is there. If you draw the polar of P with respect to the circle, you can take infinite number of points on that polar. Every point on that polar of P and P are conjugate to each other. But there is one and only point on that polar such a way that CP, that point are collinear. CP and that point are collinear. At that time, those 2 points are said to be inverse points with respect to the circle. So, this is the background of the definition of the inverse points, but we may define in this manner. 2 points, see here the definition, 2 points P comma Q are said to be inverse points with respect to a circle S equal to 0 with the center at C and radius R, then these 3 conditions will be satisfied. What are the 3 conditions here, dears? C, P, Q are collinear. See here, C, P, Q are collinear. This is inverse point of P. We can define inverse point of Q is P itself with respect to the same circle. Let us see. CP are collinear and P comma Q are same side of the center of circle. See here, this is the center of the circle. P and Q are the same side of center of circle, and one more condition is given to you. CP into CQ is equals to R square. Product of distances C2P and C2Q is always equal to R square. Then we say that the 2 points P comma Q are inverse points with respect to the circle. So this is the definition of the inverse points of circle. Inverse points with respect to the circle. 2 points P comma Q are there. They are said to be inverse points. They must and should be satisfies this condition. Then we say that the points are inverse points with respect to the circle. So if the points satisfies these 2 conditions itself, we get the condition that they are conjugate with collinearity. So these 2 is nothing but the 2 conditions gives that P comma Q are conjugate to each other. Understand? Listen carefully. Collinearity is there. Already collinearity we discussed it. Now these 2 means P comma Q are same side of center of circle, CP into CQ equal to R square. This gives the condition that is S12 equal to 0. By clubbing the second and third conditions itself, we make another condition, that is PQ as conjugate points. Conjugate points. If they are collinear with center of circle, then we say that they are inverse points. Conjugate with collinearity gives inverse. So inverse points are always conjugate points, but conjugate points need not be inverse points, because C comma Q are conjugate points, but P Q1 are not collinear, therefore Q1 is not inverse point. P comma Q are conjugate points. At the same time they are collinear with C, therefore P comma Q are inverse points with respect to the circle. P comma Q are inverse points. Before the inverse points they are conjugate points. So inverse points implies they are conjugate, but conjugate points need not be the inverse points. Understand? So this is the definition. By the definition itself we can define in this manner also. CP Q are collinear and P comma Q are conjugate with respect to the circle. Then we say that the 2 points are inverse points with respect to the circle. The meaning of these 2 implies S12 equal to 0. Let us prove. So that is the definition of the inverse points. Let us see this theorem. With the help of that definition itself, we have to prove this wonderful theorem. Already we explained. Just by theoretical you have to derive. P comma Q are inverse points with respect to a circle. Then Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. This is the theorem. P comma Q are what? Inverse points with respect to a circle. Then Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Suppose this is the circle. This is the point. This is the line, say. Now, polar of P is like this. This is C. Line joining of CP is like this. This is the point of intersection of line joining of CP and polar of P. We say that this is inverse point of P. So P comma Q are inverse points then of a circle, then Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and a line joining of CP. We have to prove that here. Okay. Sorry. This is the diagram. So let P is equals to x1 comma y1. Q is equal to x2 comma y2. And consider the circle S is equal to x square plus y square minus r square equal to 0. Sake of convenience, I am considering the circle with center at origin. What is your aim? I am repeating once again to you, dear students. P comma Q are inverse points. Then Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Similarly, you can reverse also. The point of intersection of polar of Q and line joining of CP is inverse point of Q with respect to the circle. Okay. Be careful. Put in your mind. P is equals to x1 comma y1, Q equal to x2 comma y2. Your circle is x square plus y square equal to r square. These two are inverse points. Be inverse points with respect to s equal to 0. Your aim is what? Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Line joining of CP. Remember. Now P comma Q are inverse points. What is the first condition you have? P comma Q and C are collinear. C 0 0 comma P comma Q are collinear. First definition. Condition. First condition. Therefore, slope of CP is equal to slope of CQ. Implies what? Y1 by x1 is equal to y2 by x2. Implies x1 y2 minus x2 y1 is equal to 0. This is your condition. This may be used at any time, at anywhere. It is your property. x1 y2 minus x2 y1 equal to 0. This is obtained by the first condition. CPQ are collinear. Next what? P comma Q are same side of the center of the circle. P comma Q are same side of center of circle. Listen carefully. Implies what happened? x1 into x2 is positive because same side of center of circle is here what? Center is what now? 0 comma 0. And we mean x1, x2. x1 and x2 have same sign, therefore x1, x2 greater than 0. y1 into y2 is also greater than 0. 2 points are same side of the center of the circle, then their x coordinates and y coordinates have same sign. X coordinates have the same sign. Similarly, the y coordinates also have same sign. Suppose this is origin. Same side of the, because the PQ are collinear with the origin. Suppose this is point P, this is point Q, say. What are the 2 points here? X coordinates are positive as well as the y coordinates are also positive. Their product of x coordinates is positive, product of y coordinates is also positive. Suppose you take in this manner these points where x coordinates are positive, y coordinates are negative. Suppose this is 5 comma minus 4, this is a 10 comma minus 2, instead 10 comma minus 5 say. 10 comma minus 5 say. These x coordinates are positive, their product is positive. Here y coordinates are negative, their product is positive. So collinear with the same side of center, then product of x coordinates and product of y coordinates is positive. So x1, x2 greater than 0, y1, y2 is also greater than 0. This is the second condition. We have the third condition, that is what? Cp into Cq is equals to r square. Listen very carefully. A little bit of confusion in your theorem. Don't confuse. Step by step we are deriving. What is your aim? You have to show that the Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of Cp. This is your Q. When CPQ are collinear and the same side of the center of the circle. These two things are already used. What is the third condition? Cp into Cq is equals to r square is also there. Immediately Cp square into Cq square is what now? R power 4. Cp is what? Distance from C to P. That is root of x1 square plus y1 square. By squaring itself, what we have? x1 square plus y1 square into x2 square plus y2 square is equal to r power 4. See my dears, by product itself x1 square x2 square plus y1 square y2 square plus x1 square y2 square plus x2 square y1 square is equal to r power 4. is equals to r power 4. Already what we have, x1 y2 minus x2 y1 as 0. So I will convert this term into that x1 y2 minus x2 y1 into x1 y2 minus x2 y1. Okay, how to convert that one? Let us see. See here, we have the first condition is in this manner, we have the second condition is like this. Now, x1 square, x2 square plus y1 square, y2 square plus, I am going to write this one as x1 y2 minus x2 y1 whole square. I am writing one extra term, that is 2ab term is extra, minus 2ab is there, that is why I am writing plus 2x1 x2 y1 y2, then it becomes balance. x1 square y2 square plus x2 square y1 square minus 2x1 x2 y1 y2 plus 2x1 x2 y1 y2 gets cancelled, you get the same value, that is equals to r power 4. So I convert this term in terms of this one. So this becomes what now? 0. Implies x1 x2 square plus y1 y2 square plus 2x1 x2 into y1 y2, that is equal to r power 4. Implies this is nothing but x1 x2 plus y1 y2 whole square is equal to r power 4, is equals to r power 4. From the three conditions, using the definition of the three conditions itself, we achieve that x1 x2 plus y1 y2 whole square is equals to r power 4. We mean x1 x2 plus y1 y2, it is nothing but plus or minus r square. But your x1 x2 y1 y2 are both positive, so you have to take plus r square. You have to take plus r square. What you obtain condition? x1 x2 plus y1 y2 is equals to r square. Because both are positive, you have to take positive. What is the condition, dears? x1 x2 plus y1 y2 minus r square equal to 0. We mean s12 equal to 0. We mean what? s12 equal to 0. That is s12 equal to 0. So p comma q are conjugate or not now? P comma q are conjugate. So what happened? The polar of p passing through q or not? So the polar of p passing through q. This is my polar of p I am taking. Polar of p passing through q. At the same time, line joining of cp. cpq are collinear. By definition itself, cpq are collinear. So the line joining of cp passing through q by definition itself. So your q is lies on both polar of p and line joining of cp. So is it lies on the point of intersection or not? Is it the point of intersection or not? Yes, this is the point of intersection of polar of p and line joining of cp. So p comma q are inverse points, then the q is the point of intersection of polar of p and line joining of cp. So this is the theorem. In this way we can easily prove that. Understand? This converse is also true, my dears. So converse is also true. We mean q is the point of intersection of polar of p with respect to a circle. Then we have to show that cpq are collinear. cp into cq equal to r square. P comma q are also the same side of center of the circle. How to prove this one? This is the circle. Suppose this is my point P. This is the polar of P. This is center of circle. This is line joining of CP. This is my Q. Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CQ. This is my Q, which is the point of intersection of these two lines. Then we have to show that P comma Q are collinear with C and same side of center of circle, and also we have to prove that CP into CQ equal to R square. From the diagram itself, the first two conditions are clear. Am I correct or not? Q is the point of intersection of what? Polar of P and line joining of CP. From the diagram itself, what you obtained? CPQ are collinear, line joining. These are collinear or not? This is collinear. Now, P comma Q are same side of the center of the circle or not? From the diagram itself, they are same side of the center of circle. One more thing you have to prove. What is that? CP into CQ is equals to R square. Then your job is over. So, my dears, what is this one? Polar of P. Suppose your point is say x1 comma y1. This is the point say x2 comma y2. Now, what is the equation of polar of P? S1 equal to 0. That is xx1 plus yy1 minus r square equal to 0. This is the polar of P. Now, what are the coordinates of C? 0, 0. 0, 0. Can I find the CQ or not? CQ is nothing but CQ is equal to perpendicular distance from 0, 0 to, what is that? Polar of P. To what? What is the line? xx1 plus yy1 minus r square equal to 0. So what is the perpendicular distance? That is modulus of minus r square by root of x1 square plus y1 square. What is this one? CQ. The game is over. What is your root of x1 square plus y1 square? Your root of x1 square plus y1 square is nothing but CP. Implies CP into CQ is equals to r square. This is your CP. Distance from C to P. C is 0, 0. P is x1 comma y1. Clear? CP into CQ equal to r square. So the converse is itself true. So Q is the point of intersection of polar of P. Then CPQ are collinear. CP into CQ equal to r square. And P comma Q are the same side of the center of the circle. Hence proved. So the converse is also true. Okay. See here, already we discussed this, the condition. P comma Q are inverse points with respect to a circle. Then P comma Q are conjugate with respect to the circle and they are collinear with the center of the circle. Already we discussed the thing. The definition, from the definition itself, the conditions 2 and 3, if you club the two conditions, 2 and 3, we get S12 equal to 0. Already we proved S12 is equal to 0 is obtained by CP into CQ is equal to R square and P comma Q are the same side of the center of circle. Already collinearity is there. By the definition itself, the three conditions. What is the first condition? Collinear. Collinear with the center. What is the second condition? Same side of center of circle. From that we are obtaining x1, x2 greater than 0, y1, y2 greater than 0. What is the third condition here? CP into CQ is equal to R square. From this condition itself we obtain S12 equal to 0 by using the two conditions. Already we proved. But the above theorem itself gives this condition. So P comma Q are inverse points means they are collinear with the center of circle. CP into CQ equal to R square and P comma Q are the same side of center of circle. By using these three conditions itself, we get the new model, that is they are collinear with the center of circle and they are conjugate to each other. S12 equal to 0 we proved. So the definition may be right in this manner. So P comma Q are conjugate with respect to the circle and they are collinear with the center of the circle itself. Understand? This is the way. Suppose 2 points we are going to discuss, their inverse points or not. How to check that one? You first go for S12 equal to 0. If it is S12 equal to 0, up to we proved that they are conjugate. And again we have to prove that CPQ are collinear. Find their slope of CP and slope of CQ. If the both are equal, we say that the conjugate points becomes inverse points with respect to the circle. Okay. See this one. If P is inside of the circle, then its inverse point is outside of the circle. This is also clear from the diagram itself. Already we discussed. P is inside of the circle, then its inverse point is outside of the circle with respect to the same circle. See here, this is the circle. This is the center of the circle. See, this is the point which is inside of the circle. I would like to write the inverse point of P. What is the definition? Point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. You take that one. CPQ are collinear and same side of the center of the circle, CP into CQ equal to R square. That is main definition. I agree with you. From that definition itself, what we conclude theoretically, that is practically, they are conjugate with collinear. Understand? That is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Suppose if you want to find the inverse point of some point with respect to a circle, what you have to do? You do two things. Find the polar of P. Listen carefully. Find the polar of P and then find the equation of line joining of CP. Solve them. You get some point. That is your inverse point of P with respect to the circle. Find the polar of P. Write the equation of CP, solve them, you get point of intersection, that is your inverse point of P with respect to the circle. So this is my point P. This is the polar of P. Point is inside, your polar is outside to the circle. This is the polar of P. And join CP, we get, this is the point of intersection Q, which is outside, because when your polar is completely outside, by joining of CP, its point of intersection must and should be outside. It never on or inside of the circle, since your line is outside. So suppose the point is here, the polar is like this, join CP, that is say P dash, your Q dash is here. So point is inside of the circle, its inverse point completely outside to the circle. This is a simple note to you. P inside, its inverse point is outside. Inverse point we mean the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. This is the Q. This is the point P. If P on the circle, then its inverse point is itself. What is the position of P here? P is on the circle. You are saying the inverse point is itself. That is also on the circle. How can you say it is itself? The inverse point is itself. Same definition you have to apply. This is the circle. This is the center of the circle. C. This is the point which is on the circle. What is the definition? How to find the inverse point? Draw the polar of P and join CP. Their point of intersection is your inverse point. That is the definition itself. Now, dears, your point is on the circle. What is the polar of P? Tangent at P becomes polar of P by the definition of the pole polar concept. This is the polar of P with respect to the circle. Since the point on the circle, polar of P coincides with the tangent at P. Join CP. What is the point of intersection? Clearly, the point of intersection is itself. So this is Q itself. Point of intersection of polar of P and tangent at, that is the tangent at P and line joining of CP is nothing but point of contact. So the inverse point of any point on the circumference of circle is itself. That is same. P is equal to Q obtained here. Okay. Next one. P is outside of the circle, then its inverse point is inside of the circle. What is here? P is outside of the circle, then its inverse point is inside of the circle. It is also obviously correct. This is the circle. It is the center of the circle. C. This is the point which is outside of the circle. How to write the polar of P? P is outside of the circle. Your polar of P coincides with what? Chord of contact. So this is my point P. Draw the chord of contact. To get the chord of contact, draw the tangents through P to the circle. These are the 2 points of contacts of tangents through this point to the circle. They touch at these 2 points as shown in this figure. Now this is what? chord of contact. You may extend in this manner also. This is the chord of contact. This is your polar. Point is outside, your polar coincident with the chord of contact. Understand? Now joining of CP, line joining of CP. This is in this manner. What is their point of intersection? This is the point of intersection. Actually, point is outside, your polar is just like that. Am I correct or not? There is no locus inside of that. But I am saying the line joining of CP and polar of P. In this case, actually they are not intersect here. See, this is the line joining of CP. This is the condition here itself. We get the figure in this manner. So, but we are saying the line to the point of intersection. We are finding this point of intersection. Student may confuse. How can we get that one? We mean we are solving CP to that polar. So, we are taking the portion itself also. Then only we get the inverse point. What is the original definition? CPQR collinear. And Cp into Cq equal to R square, and the both points are same side of the center of circle. That is why they are defined in that manner. Sometimes we get this type of ambiguitions. To avoid that ambiguitions, they are defined the inverse point definition in that manner. So if you want to write the polar of P itself, this is the polar. That's all. There is no line here to here itself. But we are solving the Cp to the entire line. This is the inverse point. So without confusion, take the entire chord of contact and solve with Cp, we get the inverse point. So it is your point P, then automatically its inverse point is here, that is inside of the circle. Understand? If P is outside of the circle, that in its inverse point completely inside to the circle. This is the another condition. Okay. This is the Q. Q is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of Cp. Okay. See here, the inverse point of center of circle with respect to the same circle does not exist. The definition itself does not exist. If you want to find the inverse point of some point with respect to a circle, what is the game? You have to write the polar first of all. Polar of center of circle. Is it exist? The polar of center of circle with respect to the same circle does not exist. Does not exist. So polar does not exist. We mean the line joining of Cp and the point of intersection with that polar does not exist. Clearly, so the inverse point of center of circle with respect to same circle does not exist. If you want to write the polar of center, what you have to do? You have to draw the chords secants through the C. Draw the tangents at their extremities. They are parallel. They do not intersect each other. That is why the polar of center of circle with respect to the same circle does not exist. Does not exist. So the polar of the inverse point of center of circle with respect to the same circle does not exist. Okay. No. See this one. The inverse point of a point with respect to a circle is foot of perpendicular drawn from center to the polar of P. This is also the concept in between the definition itself. The inverse point of a point with respect to circle is nothing but foot of perpendicular drawn from center to the polar of P. Drawn from the center to the polar of P. How to show this one? It is very clear. This is the circle. This is the point P. This is the center of circle. Point is inside of the circle. Your polar is completely outside to the circle. This is polar of P. To get the inverse point of P, what you have to write? Line joining of Cp. This is the line joining of Cp. This is my inverse point of P with respect to the circle. What they are given? This is the foot of perpendicular drawn from where to where? Center to the polar of P. Drawn from center to the polar of P. Or you may take the P to the polar of P also. Because CPQ are collinear. My dears, the line joining of Cp and polar are perpendicular to each other or not? Yes, this is polar of P. Polar of P is perpendicular to line joining of CP. Line joining of CP. So when they are perpendicular to each other, is it foot or not? This is the foot of perpendicular drawn from center or P to the polar of P. So no need to find the equation of CP and find the point of intersection of CP to the polar of P. You just write the polar of P and find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either C or P to polar of P. Immediately we obtain the inverse point of P with respect to the circle. So you find foot of perpendicular drawn from either C or P to polar of P, that gives inverse point. So the one and only concept is polar is perpendicular to line joining of CP. From itself we conclude the concept. So from the above note we can find the inverse point of x1 comma y1 with respect to the circle x square plus y square equal to a square as a square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square comma a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. We have to find out the inverse point of x1 comma y1 with respect to the circle x square plus y square equal to a square. So this is my circle x square plus y square equal to a square. This is the point x1 comma y1. We are going to find out the inverse point. So inverse point we mean you just join the CP. This is C. This is my point P. This is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. This is what? Polar of P. So if just to find a foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or P to polar of P. So what is your S here? S is equal to x square plus y square minus a square equal to 0. Your point is P x1 comma y1. Polar of P x1 y1 with respect to S equal to 0 is what now? S1 equal to 0. What is S1? X1 plus y1 minus a square equal to 0. This is the polar. You just find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either C or P to the polar of P. We find the foot of perpendicular. Let h comma k be the foot of perpendicular drawn from center 0, 0. You take 0, 0, it is better to you than x1 comma y1. You may take x1 y1 also. So foot of perpendicular drawn from origin to the x1 y1. You have the formula h minus 0 by a. A is what now? X1. H minus x1 by a is equals to k minus y1. Y1 instead of here 0 by y1. So h minus 0 by x1 equal to k minus 0 by y1 is equals to minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c, that is minus a square by a square plus b square, x1 square plus y1 square. By the definition of foot of perpendicular drawn from origin to the polar of P x1 y1. This polar is what? Xx1 plus y1 minus a square equal to 0. So your job becomes you have to find out the foot of perpendicular drawn from origin to the line xx1 plus y1 minus a square equal to 0. Or you may find the equation of CP and solve with that, you get the inverse point also. Before going to solving those two lines, it is better to find the foot of perpendicular itself. So h is what now? Minus minus gets cancelled. This is nothing but a square by x1 square plus y1 square. So h is equals to what now? A square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square comma k is equals to a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. This is very important formula. You can easily remember that one. So your inverse point of x1 comma y1 is taken as a square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square comma a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. a square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square comma a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. This is the inverse point of x1 y1 with respect to the circle. So you can find foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or point to the polar of the point. Similarly, we can find the inverse point of origin with respect to the circle S is equals to 0 as minus gc by g square plus f square minus fc by g square plus f square. This is your circle S is equal to 0, that is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Suppose my point origin is here, it is the polar of origin. This is what? Polar of P. You just find the foot of perpendicular drawn from origin to the polar of P, we get Q. This is inverse point of P. Understand? So write the polar of given point, find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or given point to the polar of P, we get the inverse point of P with respect to the circle. You may find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or P because C, P, Q are collinear. For your sake of convenience, in the earlier problem we find the foot of perpendicular drawn from center to the polar of P. Now here find the foot of perpendicular from point to the polar of P because 0, 0 is a symbol for your calculation. Now first of all what you have to write the polar of the point P with respect to the circle, that is S1 equal to 0. What is my polar equation? X1 x into 0 plus y into 0 plus g times of x plus 0 plus f times of y plus 0 plus c equal to 0. Because your point x1 y1 is 0 comma 0. Implies what now? gx plus fy plus c equal to 0. This is the polar of P. gx plus fy plus c equal to 0. Now find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either minus g comma minus f to this polar or 0 comma 0 to this polar. Let us find the foot of perpendicular drawn from origin to that line, gx plus fy plus c equal to 0. Let it be say h comma k. So we get h minus x1, that is h minus 0. Your x1 y1 is say 0 0, that is your point. H minus 0 by g is equals to k minus 0 by f is equals to 0 into g plus 0 into f plus c minus of that c by g square plus f square. So equate these two, we get h is equals to what? Minus gc by g square plus f square and k is equals to minus fc by g square plus f square. So we have h comma k as minus gc by g square plus f square comma minus fc by g square plus f square. In this manner we can achieve the inverse point of origin with respect to the circle as minus gc by g square plus f square minus fc by g square plus f square. Some general point and general circle is given to you. How to find inverse point? You just write the polar of that point with respect to the circle. Find foot of perpendicular from that point or center to this polar. To this polar we get the inverse point. So two things remember my dear students. Write the polar of given point and find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or given point. Either center or given point itself, we get the inverse point of P with respect to the circle. Okay. See here, Q is inverse point of P with respect to the circle, then P is inverse point of same Q with respect to the same circle. Q is inverse point of P with respect to a circle, then P is inverse point of Q with respect to the same circle. So one is inverse point of other, that other one is also inverse point of the first. The definition itself gives the condition. So P comma Q are inverse points, we mean they are collinear and conjugate. P comma Q are inverse points means P comma Q and C are collinear. Q comma P and C are collinear or not? Yes. And again P comma Q are conjugate, we mean Q comma P are also conjugate. Conjugate with collinearity gives inverse. By the definition itself, this is nothing here. P is inverse point of Q, then Q is inverse point of P with respect to the same circle. With respect to the same circle. You may do one case also. This is the point, this is the circle. Consider this is my point P. This is inverse point of, this is the polar of P. So this is the center of circle, join CP, this is the inverse point. So CPQ are collinear and P comma Q are conjugate points with respect to the circle. In the same manner, P is inverse point of Q. We can say that Q is inverse point of P because Q, P, C are collinear. Q comma P comma C are same side of center of circle. If CP into CQ equal to R square, we mean CQ into CP is also R square. Therefore, P comma Q are inverse points, then Q comma P are also inverse points. P is inverse point of Q, then we say that Q is inverse point of P. Or you may convince in this manner. This is the point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Now again write the polar of P here, polar of Q. This is the polar of Q. Since polar of P passing through Q, then polar of Q passing through P or not? By definition of the pole polar, conjugate points definition itself. So, here CPQ are collinear. P is the point of intersection of polar of Q and line joining of CQ. So, the inverse point of Q is what now? P. The inverse point of P is Q, then the inverse point of Q is itself P. Okay, no need to discuss this much of time. The definition itself gives to you. Okay, so P, CPQ are collinear and same side of center of circle and CP into CQ equal to R square. We say that the P comma Q are inverse points with respect to the circle. Okay, so this is the point. This is the polar of P. Okay, the polar of Q is like this. Polar of Q. By definition of conjugate points itself. So polar of P passing through Q, then polar of Q passing through P. So by definition of S12 equal to 0. So collinear with conjugate gives what? Inverse points. Okay. Now see this problem. We have to find out the inverse point of 1 comma 1 with respect to the circle x square plus y square equal 25. Dear students, it is not origin. If it is origin, immediately we can write a square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square, a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. The point is different. The circle is x square plus y square equal 25. What is the logic here? You write the polar and find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or given point to the polar of P. Or you may write the equation of CP, solve with CP to polar of P. Solve with CP to polar of P. What is polar of P? Equation of polar of P 1 comma 1 with respect to S is equal to x square plus y square minus 25 equal to 0 is S1 equal to 0. That is x into 1, x plus y into 1, y minus 25 equal to 0. Now we have to find out the foot of perpendicular drawn from center or given point to that one. This is 1 comma 1, this is 0, 0, this is my point 1 comma 1. Your polar is x plus y minus 25 equal to 0. Your polar may be in this manner. This is the origin, this is the point 1 comma 1, this is polar of 1 comma 1. You find the foot of perpendicular drawn from 0, 0. We go to prefer origin. You may take 1 comma 1 also. So h minus h comma k is the foot of perpendicular. Then immediately we get h minus 0 by 1 is equals to k minus 0 by again 1 is equals to minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c, that is minus 25 by a square plus b square, 1 plus 1 2. So h is equals to 25 by 2 and again k is equals to 25 by 2. H comma k is nothing but 25 by 2 comma 25 by 2. So In this manner, we can find the inverse point of P with respect to the circle. What is your polar? X plus y minus 25 equal to 0. Take origin, find the foot of perpendicular. Minus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by a square plus b square. 1 plus 1, 2. That is minus minus gets cancelled, 25 by 2. 25 by 2 comma 25 by 2. Find the inverse point of 4 comma 1 with respect to the circle. Same manner, write the polar, find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either 4 comma 1 or center 6 comma minus 3 to that polar of P. What is polar equation? Polar of 4 comma 1 with respect to s equal to 0 is s1 equal to 0. Equation of, what is s1 equal to 0? 4x plus 1 into yy minus 6 times of x plus 4 plus 3 times of y plus 1 plus 20 is equal to 0. 4x minus 6x, that is minus 2x, y plus 3y, that is 4y, minus 24 plus 3 plus 20, 23 minus 24, minus 1. Am I correct or not? Minus 24 plus 20, minus 4 plus 3, minus 1 equal to 0. Or you may take 2x minus 4y plus 1 equal to 0. This is the polar. Find the foot of perpendicular drawn from 4 comma 1. I am choosing 4 comma 1 here. You may take center also. Choice is yours. Either center or P. You may take foot of perpendicular. Suppose say this is x1 comma y1. I am going to find the foot of perpendicular. Suppose foot is h comma k, say h minus 4 by 2 is equals to k minus 1 by minus 4 is equals to minus of ax1. 4 2s are 8. 1 4s are 4. Again plus 1. By a square plus b square. 4 plus 16. What is that now? 4 plus 1. That is 5. Minus 5 by 20. That is minus 1 by 4. So h minus 4 by 2 is equal to minus 1 by 4. 2 2's implies h is equal to 4 minus 1 by 2. We mean 7 by 2. Again we have k minus 1 by minus 4 is equals to 1 by minus 4. Minus 4 gets cancelled. K is equals to 2. So the inverse point is what now? 7 by 2 comma 2. 7 by 2 comma 2 is the inverse point of 4 comma 1 with respect to the circle. Okay, how to do this one? Write the polar of P and find the foot of perpendicular. This is your circle. This is your given point. Write the polar and find the foot of perpendicular drawn from either center or given point to this one. This is your inverse point. Inverse point of P with respect to the circle. See, this is the question, very nice question. Find the locus of inverse points on the line Lx plus My plus n equal to 0 with respect to the circle x square plus y square equal to r square. If there is a point, there exists one inverse point to that point with respect to the circle. Why the inverse points are varying here? Some point is moving on the line Lx plus My plus n equal to 0. For every position of that point, there exists one inverse point with respect to the circle. You collect all such type of inverse points, you get some locus, that is you have to find out here. Read once again. You have to find out the locus of inverse points of the points on the line. Inverse points of the points on the line Lx plus My plus n equal to 0 with respect to the circle x square plus y square equal to r square. Some point is moving on the line Lx plus My plus n equal to 0. For every moment there exists one inverse point with respect to the circle. You collect all these types of, all the inverse points, you get some locus, that is you have to find out here. See here, this is the circle. is x square plus y square is equal to r square. Now, this is the center of the circle C as shown in that figure. This is my line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. This is my line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. You take any point P, say, this is one of the point. Some point is moving on this line. You get different points. For every point there exists inverse point with respect to that circle. Understand? This is the point on the circle. This is P. Now, I am going to draw the inverse point of P with respect to that circle. What is the definition? Point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP. Your point is outside here from that figure. I am going to draw the chord of contact that gives polar. So, this is the pair of tangents drawn from P to the circle touches at these 2 points as shown in that figure. These are the 2 points of contacts. Now, I am going to join them. We get the chord of contact. This is your polar. So, this is your polar of P with respect to the circle. Now, join CP. We get the point of intersection here. You have to find out the locus of point of intersection of polar of P and line joining of CP by varying of the P on the line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. Are you understand or not? Your point is moving on this line. For every position you have to draw the tangents. 2 points of contacts will be exist. Join them. For every point there exists chord of contact and join CP, you get corresponding inverse point. If the point P is changed, its inverse point is changed. So, by moving the point P itself, you get the inverse points with respect to the same circle. You have to collect all those inverse points, you get some locus, that is you are going to find out here. My dear students, this is the variable point, that is why this is also varying. We are going to find out this locus. Suppose Q is inverse point of P. Let P be any point on P be any point on line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. P be any point on the line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. Q is inverse point of P with respect to circle x square plus y square is equal to r square and Q is equals to x1 comma y1 say. This is my point which is on the locus x1 comma y1. We are going to find out the locus of x1 comma y1. Here P is any point, Q is the inverse point with respect to the circle. Q is inverse point of P. Catch this one. Q is inverse point of P, then P is inverse point of Q or not? P is inverse point of Q. P is inverse point of Q, then Q is inverse point of P. Already we discussed it. Therefore, Q is inverse point of P implies P is inverse point of Q. Q is the inverse point of P, then we have P is inverse point of Q. So, this is inverse point of Q. We have the coordinates of Q as x1 comma y1. Your circle is x square plus y square equal to r square. Can I write the inverse point of Q, that is P or not? P is nothing but a square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square and a square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. Already we proved. Here instead of a you have r. So, what are the coordinates of P now? P is equals to r square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square comma r square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square. Already we proved this one. If you want, you can prove once again. This is the point P which lies on what? This is my line. This is on the line. What is that? My line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0. You just substitute this point on that line. We obtain the required locus. L into r square x1 by x1 square plus y1 square plus m into r square y1 by x1 square plus y1 square plus n is equals to 0. Therefore, locus is nothing but r square into lx plus my plus n times of x square plus y square is equal to 0. So, your locus is r square into lx plus my plus n times of x square plus y square is equal to 0. Very nice question to you. Here we are applying the condition that P is inverse point of Q, then Q is inverse point of P concept. So, just by using this formula itself, we can crack this locus as r square into lx plus my plus n into x square plus y square equal to 0. Understand?